Are Spanish people really white? Really? Think about it. Serious question. The concept of being white is much, much deeper than just skin color. Because if you think white means blonde or pure European, you're in for a shock. We're talking real science. Let us think past surface-level appearance. Understanding groups means you must understand the group's lineages. So let's break it all down, simple and with verified facts. Section 1. What does white even mean? Who even gets to decide what's white? America? Russia? TikTok? The truth is, nobody can define it. For example, Armenians were not classed as white in America, but later on they were. White is pretty much a social label. The world is so mixed you would not believe it. What about Italians? Are they all white? Back in the day, in America, it would have been crazy to label Italians as white. Greeks? Same thing. They're much closer to Turkish people compared to, say, Scandinavians. In fact, the average Greek has a higher melanin index than Armenians, and Armenia isn't in Europe. What about Ashkenazi Jewish people? Many look white. Interestingly, northern Afghans are not considered white, despite them looking whiter than Greeks and southern Italians. So when someone says Spain is white, just ask them, based on what? Because if it's just looks, we're ignoring history and DNA. Section 2. Why Spain's location matters. Look at the map. Spain is right above Africa. Now pause, think about that. That means thousands of years of people crossing back and forth. Traders, soldiers, refugees, families. Europe and Africa were never sealed off. They were always connected. The distance between the tip of Morocco to the south of Spain is shorter than the tip of France to Wales. So of course Spain has African DNA. It's geography. It's history. Even now, people are mixing. It has always been a part of human nature. Now time for facts. A 2005 study found that up to 11% of people in southern Portugal and southwestern Spain have Sub-Saharan African ancestry. That's not a myth. That's published science, Beleza et al. 2005. Researchers looked at something called haplogroups, basically DNA that show where your ancestors came from. Think of it like a tree with its branches. Different branches come from different regions of the world. One genetic marker called haplogroup L only comes from Sub-Saharan Africa. And this haplogroup L shows up in 8 to 11% of southern Portuguese people. Then there's another haplogroup called EM81, a North African marker from the Berbers. Berbers were the native people of Morocco and Algeria. This EM81 is found in 5 to 7% of Portuguese men. This means the Berbers were definitely there and definitely mixed. What's even more interesting is Berbers were mixed too. Many of them had African roots from further south of Morocco. Now back to mainland Spain. Remember the Islamic period of Spain? Most people know Spain was once Muslim. They've heard of Al-Andalus. They know about the Moors. But what they don't always know is this. The Moors weren't just a group of Arabs from one group who ruled Spain. There were a lot of Berbers and black Africans in Spain during this period. The Moors ruled for over 700 years. Spain was Muslim for a long time. In cities like Cordoba, you had African soldiers, black scholars, Muslim architects, and Jewish scientists working together. Spain's golden age, its science, culture, libraries, it all exploded under Islamic rule. So the Berber, Moor, and African history is something for Spain to be proud of. But later on, Muslims and even Jews were kicked out of Spain at one point. Why? Politics clashes, but some historians argue that they wanted Spain to feel white again, like Northern Europe. Section 3. Ancient mixing, even before Al-Andalus. The common misconception is mixing only happened during Moorish rule. Africa and Spain were mixing way before Islam. We're talking 20,000 years ago. The Ibero-Mauritians, ancient people in North Africa, had both European hunter-gatherer and Sub-Saharan African genes. Those genes made their way into southern Europe over time. So in summary, people were traveling into Spain and its surrounding areas for a long, long time. Even many Spaniards do not know this. So you might say, but Spanish people look white. And sure, many do, especially in the north. Pale skin, straight hair, but your DNA doesn't always show on your face. Genetics runs deep. You can carry African genes and look fully European. So looking white doesn't mean your ancestry is white only. Let's talk blue eyes. Some people say blue eyes equals whiteness. But look at this. In southern Spain, only 5 to 10% have blue eyes. But in Lebanon, yes, the Middle East, 8 to 15% of people have blue eyes, especially among mountain communities. So if blue eyes make you white, some Lebanese are whiter than southern Spaniards by that logic. Do you consider Lebanese people white? Leave a comment and let us know. This is where it gets even more interesting. The term Arab can refer to a culture rather than a race. For example, a Lebanese Arab can look completely different to a Kuwaiti Arab. Section 4. Colonialism and Whiteness. Here's something they probably didn't talk about in school. Nobody used to use the terms black or white back in the day. Spain did, however, have a racist past built on colonialism. Just look at South America. Spain helped create that system, calling themselves superior while ignoring their own African past. But their own DNA? It tells a different story. Spain wasn't just white. It was African, Arab, Jewish, Berber, and European, all mixed together. So are Spanish people white? The real answer? It's complicated. The factual answer is it's a mix. It always has been. Everything is mixed. Ethnicities are mixed, languages are a mix, culture is mixed. This comes with history. Next time someone says Spain is just white, ask them, which part of their DNA are they ignoring?